right, no matter what we do and no matter how we go about it, we cannot seem to move the stigma that seems to incarcerate us into this sinful world in which we live. I don't care what we do, we cannot fix it, and we'll not be able to fix it until the Lord himself releases his zeal and help us to bring it to fruition. But in spite of our darkness, in spite of these difficult moments, we too, like Isaiah, hear that yes, one day there will be a resolution of all of this ugliness. Order will be reestablished. Beauty of life will come into existence, and loving, warm fellowship of brother to brother will take its rightful place. Yes, it will, but who is going to make it happen? Who will cause this accomplishment of this great thing? Where is he who would undertake this? Where is he? He's in a baby. A child is born. A son is given. Come here a minute. The prophet spoke of the child in present tense. Now, stay with me just for a minute. See, he said unto us, a child is born. Mm-hmm. But the child was not born in his time. The child was not born till many, many years later. But he stood and said that unto us a child is, which is a present tense. In other words, here is what he has that we must have. We've got to have a faithful view of what God is going to do. Yeah. Here is a man who stood some 400 or more years before that which he predicted come to fruition. But he stood there and said unto us, a child is born. Yeah. A child is born. But now, when he said a child was born, he had this spiritual eye that allowed him to look into things. You see, a prophet not only look on things, they look into things. But they don't see it with the human eye. They see it with God's spiritual eye. Yeah, he spent some time with God. And even though that they were oppressed by the enemy, even though that their lifestyle was oppressive and they didn't have the total freedom that man should have, that God wanted them to have, but even out of all that they were going through, he stood in the midst of their degradation and maltreatment and said, unto us a child is born. Now that child is going to bring about some kind of resolution to the situation. He saw it way down the line. But he said, a child is born. A child is born. A son is given. He spoke in the present tense. Yes, he did. However, it was a long time before it came to fruition. It was a present, future expectation. Now, his present future expectation was grounded in his assurance that God would bring it to fruition. Yeah. He had no idea when, but he knew because he was grounded, anchored in God. He knew that somehow or another God was going to work it out. And if I may tag him with some of Job's stuff, he's in what he's into. And what he's into is not comfortable to be into. He wanted to get out of what he's into. But instead of trying to struggle and fight his way out of the paper bag, he has a faith that is grounded in the assurance that God hasn't left him. So he stands flat-footed and simply said, I don't know how you're going to make a way, but I know somehow you're going to do something. I don't know the way you're going to make for me, but even though you slayed me, yet I'm going to trust in you. That's Job's word, but I believe that Isaiah had something like the same thing in mind, because he knew that he told God, if you need somebody, send me. And now you got me in this mess. I can't renege on what I told you. So I know you're going to do something, but the Lord said, tell them that a son is given and there will be peace coming to them. They will stop fighting. They'll beat their swords into plowshares. You tell them that, but they ain't going to believe you. But you tell him anyway, but he's grounded in knowing the future. Let me tell you, can I just tell you that if you ever believe that God said it, then you can believe it. Yeah. You ought to. And sometimes when you know that God told you something, and I ain't after you, but if you know that God said it, I don't care how Deacon Odie come and tell you that he didn't say it, you ought to be able to stand flat-footed and say, I know what the Lord has said. He said a child is born. Now, he spoke in the present tense, but we speak of the child. When we speak of him, we speak in the past tense. Yeah. See, we don't say, for unto us a child is born. We have to say, unto us a child was born. Yes, sir. Yeah. You see, he was born, and we are the beneficiaries of the child's activity that Isaiah spoke of when he spoke of it in the presence. Isaiah did not experience the presence that the benefits, if you will, that we are experiencing by virtue of the child being born.